This is the new iPhone Air, and it's controversial to say the least. It's the first time Apple's ever released a thin and light phone, and some people love it, some people hate it, and many of you guys are wondering, is it really the iPhone we should get this year? Well, that's what this video is for. Over the past few years, we've seen Apple experiment a lot when it comes to releasing new phone models. With the iPhone 12 and 13 series, the base model comprised of the standard model and the mini, but that mini model was scrapped altogether with the 14 series, and instead we saw iPhone 14 and 14 Plus, and this continued for 15 and 16. But this time, we see iPhone 17, iPhone 17 Pro, and then iPhone Air. Not the iPhone 17 Air, but just iPhone Air. And that kind of gives us an insight as this could be a brand new lineup that shakes up the iPhone lineup and brings some new futuristic changes, or it could eventually turn out to be another failed project. But which one is it really going to be?
Unboxing is largely the same as every other iPhone. There's two easy open pull tabs on the back, and lifting that up, we have our iPhone Air right up top. It's insanely thin and light and feels really premium too. I got the light gold color here, and in addition to our phone, we're also going to find a USB-C cable in the box. The first accessory that Apple released for the new iPhone Air is the iPhone Air MagSafe battery pack. Now this one is unique as it's specifically designed for this phone, and it's designed to maintain that thin and light profile. Apple also created a case for the iPhone Air. I got the shadow color here, and this is how it looks on the light gold iPhone Air. And once again, it's designed to protect the thin and light profile, and it's honestly the only case you should get if you want to get a case this time.
Design-wise, it's hands down the best iPhone of the bunch. Now, iPhone Air is the thinnest iPhone ever made, only 5.6 millimeters thin at its thinnest point. And some people have been saying it's not actually thin because of that giant camera bump, or camera plateau as Apple likes to call it. And they are right about that, as there are thinner iPhones when you consider the thickness at that point, but you're not going to be holding the phone right at that camera plateau. When it comes to just using this phone day to day, it is a delight to use just because of how thin and light it is. Now, you probably don't want to use a case with this phone, except if you're using Apple's custom-made clear case specifically designed to protect the thin and light profile. And same thing goes for the battery packs. You would definitely want to get Apple's battery pack, as it's also designed to maintain that thin and light profile. Now, the iPhone Air is also the only iPhone still using the premium titanium build, as the Pro models have switched from their titanium build back to an aluminum build, this time with a unibody, whereas the iPhone Air still has the sandwich style design with this polished titanium frame. The back is also now ceramic shield, making it even more durable. However, I would still recommend getting Apple's clear case, as it's still going to offer you some peace of mind, especially for a phone this thin and light. The thin and light design of iPhone Air would not have been possible without advancements in Apple Silicon, and iPhone Air has more Apple Silicon than any iPhone ever released. We have the A19 Pro chip, which is the most powerful yet also most power efficient chip ever made for an iPhone, and it's going to handle anything you throw at it. The C1X modem supports both LTE networks as well as faster 5G networks, and the N1 chip, which is Apple's first ever wireless chip, supports Wi-Fi 7, Bluetooth 6, and Thread.
Here's another feature that I talked about in my iPhone 17 Pro video, and that's the dual recording, which allows you to record yourself on the front camera and what's in front of you using the back camera. Now, you're not going to miss out on this feature if you have the iPhone Air or the regular iPhone 17, as Apple added this to all of the new 2025 iPhones.
Apple put the same sensor across the board this year in all of the iPhone 17 series models, so regardless of which model you choose, you're going to have the same experience using the front camera to record videos as well as taking pictures. Now, I did a little bit of testing of the front camera using my iPhone 17 Pro video, so definitely check that out if you want to see what type of pictures the front camera can take. When it comes to the camera features, you should definitely not go for the iPhone Air if your main purpose is to use the camera. Rather, you should go for something like the iPhone 17 Pro Max. Now, I did use this phone to take a lot of pictures over the past few days, and I used it to record a few video clips as well, and it does a good job with both taking pictures and recording videos. I will say that the zoom capabilities are not the best, as it only has 1x and 2x, whereas the iPhone 17 Pro Max has 1x, 2x, 4x, 8x all the way to a 0.5 ultra wide. So if your main purpose is to use the camera, you should definitely go for the iPhone 17 Pro. However, that's not to say that this camera is bad, it's just not as good as its other iPhone siblings. The iPhone Air does a pretty good job when it comes to entertainment use. Now, when it comes to watching content, you're not really going to notice that much of a difference across the entire iPhone lineup this year, as we have 120Hz ProMotion OLED displays across the entire lineup. However, the iPhone Air, I think, is the perfect screen size at 6.5 inches, and the thinner and lighter design make it a lot easier to use when on the go. Now, when it comes to listening to music, I don't really listen to music a whole lot just using the phone's built-in speaker, but you are going to notice some slightly worse audio quality as the iPhone Air only has a single speaker, unlike the rest of the iPhone lineup which has dual speakers, but if you're going to use headphones, this is also a non-issue. So you're probably wondering who should buy this phone. Honestly, I think the only people who should buy the iPhone Air are those who value aesthetics over everything else. It just has way too many compromises for me personally to make it as my daily phone. I'm going to be going back to my iPhone 17 Pro Max. That is a much better suited device for my workflow and my lifestyle. However, that's not to say that the iPhone Air is bad by any means. It's just kind of hard to really pinpoint what type of users Apple's targeting with this phone. There you have it, guys. That pretty much sums up everything I think about the new iPhone Air. Now, if you made it to the end of this video, it would mean a lot if you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. That's all I got for today. I'll see you guys next time.